The chosen one. Hear me with your soul, not your ears. You're not here by chance. This is not a coincidence, an algorithm, or chance. This is a divine appointment. Heaven has directed your feet to this exact time. And there's a reason you're watching now. The clock of fate has struck, and you are poised on the verge of a miraculous upheaval. The chosen one. Today is more than simply another day. This is the day. The window that has been open for months is becoming smaller. The promised hour has arrived. The Kairos moment was preordained before the planet was created. Ecclesiastes 3 verse 1 indicates that the word applies to everything. Every purpose under God has its own season and time. And Habakkuk 2 verse 3 tells us that despite the vision, we must wait for it because it will arrive. There will be no delay. That moment has finally arrived. You are on the verge of a heavenly transfer formation that might manifest now, tonight, or in the next hours. The change you've hoped for, the liberation you've desired, is pushing on the curtain of your reality. This is holy time. Heaven has planned your breakthrough. Prepare your heart for today. Destiny deserves an answer. The chosen one. Lean in. This is not an everyday moment. Heaven has pressed on your spirit, whispering via dreams, aligning numbers, and giving unmistakable clues. You are now standing at a threshold, the last opportunity before a massive spiritual doorway shuts. I'm not saying anything to terrify you. I say this because I've been through these gates and understand the pain of missing the hour when fate knocks. You've endured months, if not years, of irritation and delays. It feels like you're standing in front of a closed door with the key in your pocket. However, today the door is gleaming. Heaven says, turn the key. If you wait, you risk being stuck in another loop of circling the same peak. I know because I was there expecting for God to drop a miracle in my lap, unaware that He was waiting for me to take the first step. This is the first spiritual trap, waiting for divine timing while doing nothing. It seems sacred. It sounds like faith, but it is fear disguised as surrender. I muttered it to myself. If God wants me to have something, He will provide it. If the moment is right, He will open the door. It had a mystical feel about it while yet being secure. Heaven never asked me to be safe. Heaven urged me to take a step, even when the earth underneath me was unclear. I did, and the earth appeared. The chosen one. This trap is hazardous because it seems virtuous. It convinces you that quiet equals trust. But it's true. Divine timing isn't passive. It is the collision of your obedience and heaven's opportunity. God breathes on even the little steps you take. However, if you never move, He will have nothing to bless. Think about it now. Are you waiting for money before you begin constructing what God has put in your heart? Waiting to feel well before reopening your heart to love again? Waiting for thunder, disregarding the quiet little voice that is encouraging you to create? To talk is to act. That waiting is the trap that keeps you stranded, and nearly is the cemetery where destiny die. I recall beseeching God for clarification. Night after night, I prayed, show me my calling. Silence. Then one day, I became bored of waiting. I accomplished something little. I offered an encouraging remark to a buddy. That single movement cracked something open. Opportunities poured in like a deluge. Not because I had a complete map, but because I dared to move. This is how paradise works. The sign is not arriving later. The indication is already there in the urgency that presses on your soul. The fact that you're receiving this mail is confirmation. The train of fate is on the rails. To remain still is like to standing on the tracks, begging for permission while the engine barrels at you. The train is your signal. The chosen one. Heaven is saying, now, take one step. Any step, even if it seems little or nonsensical. Your stride in the dark awakens God's light, which guides the road ahead. Anchor it with your words. Declare that I am the activity. For far too long, your identity has been the one waiting. Today it changes. Today you announce that I am the activity. That's not arrogance. That is accord with the plan God has set inside you. Let me be open with you. For years, I believed humility entailed waiting. Sitting back, saying, if it's meant to be, it will be. But humility does not imply idleness. Humility equals obedience. Obedience is messy. It seems like they are making the phone call with shaky hands. It seems like you are beginning the project with just a half-formed idea. It appears like you're heading into the arena with your armor still damaged. That is submission, knowing that God's power is perfected through weakness. The alternative to passive waiting is inspired activity, not frenetic, hustling, or pushing results. It's listening to the holy whisper's gentle prompting to call that individual. Write the line, send the email, create that plan. These are divinely timed breadcrumbs. You are not expected to construct the whole home tonight. You are repeatedly urged to place the first brick. I've seen heaven react to little deeds. I never envisioned making just one modest song and telling one tale. One act of obedience might alter whole seasons. However, God breathes into movement. The cosmos does not cooperate with reluctance. It collaborates with faith and action. So I ask you, will you act or will you let this opportunity pass? This is the final day, and you will wake up tomorrow in the same circle of nearly bliss. The question is, will you say yes? Back to the selected one. Breathe deeply right now. Inhale the truth. Exhale the dread. Please whisper with me. I am the activity. This is not just a term. It is a covenant. It's your soul, telling heaven you're done waiting, that you are moving ahead, that you are prepared to co-create the future written for you. And, as you said, as you soar beyond passive waiting, know that the adversary will not just release you without resistance. As soon as you escape one trap, another will emerge, disguised in the language of healing and self-love. If you are not careful, it will ensnare you before you know you have moved on. But before we take that moment and realize, the transition has already started. The vibe is different. Your heart beats quicker. Your spirit understands that heaven has aligned with your yes, chosen one. Pay close attention. When you eventually break free from passive waiting, the adversary often entices you into something good, mild, or even holy. Although it seems to be development, it is really a jail. It's the trap of never-ending mending. At first, it seems correct. You convince yourself that you cannot walk with purpose until you are completely healed. I can't open my heart till every scar is gone. I will not be able to experience plenty until all curses have been broken. It sounds intelligent, but it is a deceit. This trap leads you to believe that healing is a destination, while in reality, it is a journey designed to bring you forward. I know because I experienced it. There was a time when my whole existence seemed like therapy. Journals filled with grief, many hours spent reviewing the past, and nothing changed. Why? Healing had become my identity. I was no longer God's vessel, ready for destiny. I was the injured one, rehearsing past tales. The chosen one. Your wounds are real, yet they do not bear your name. Healing is holy, but it was never intended to be a permanent abode. Wounds aren't altars. They're instructors. The adversary realizes he can't stop you from pursuing completeness. So he turns the procedure into an infinite loop. You become preoccupied with what has damaged you, investing your energy on the past rather than living in the future. This trap seems to be fruitful. You claim I am doing the job, but look at the fruits. Are you more relaxed, cheerful, and creative? Or are you still experiencing the same pain? Healing is not intended to transform you. It is intended to free you. The actual question is not, am I healed enough? The true issue is, am I willing to live despite my scars? I once met someone who knew every detail of her tragedy. She could describe every trigger and wound. However, her life remained unaltered since she had based her whole identity on being broken. The chosen one. Your scars are not chains. These are your credentials. They demonstrate what you endured. They prove the oil you're carrying. So, here's your proclamation. My scars are my strengths. Speak it loudly. Write it down. Keep it in your spirit. Everything changes when you stop concealing your wounds and instead use them as a source of power. The world does not need another damaged soul dissecting suffering. The world needs the medication that only your wounds can provide. The remedy to never-ending healing is integration, not denial. True healing occurs in action. You don't wait to be healed before you can live. You live. And in life, you heal. You heal. When an old trigger comes up, and you pick a new reaction, you heal. You recover when your pain is transformed into compassion for others. When you act against your fears, Your history no longer controls you. I recall the first time I spoke encouragement while still in pain. Something unusual occurred. My words also healed me. Each act of service strengthened my own spirit. Healing was never just about me. It was about emptying out everything I'd learned from the fire. The chosen one. God never stated, "Wait until you are perfect." He responded, "My power is perfected in weakness." If you wait for complete healing, you'll be waiting forever. But if you act with faith, even if you are limping, you will discover power in yourself that you never dreamed possible. Stop asking what else needs to be fixed. Instead, wake up wondering, how can I serve with what I already have? That inquiry reveals fate. It redirects your focus from the past to your future. It transforms your scars from excuses to weapons. Imagine if every scarred warrior stood today and served with what they already had. The ground would tremble. That is why the opponent wants to keep you here. Because of the time you announce, "My scars are my abilities," you become invincible. The chosen one. Breathe in the truth. Allow it to settle. You are not the wound. You are the warrior who went through the wound and survived. Your scars do not indicate shame. These are signs of survival. They show that you were picked. Now hear this. The trap of eternal healing is falling under your feet. You're not staying here. You're heading ahead. And when you advance, the next test will be shinier, smarter, and disguised as knowledge. It will explain that knowing is the same as change. However, it is another illusion. It is the pitfall of intellectual spirituality, the temptation of unending study without actualizing truth. But first, stop and experience the internal transformation. Heaven is already moving. The atmosphere has altered since you declared your scars to be powerful. You've disrupted an old cycle. You emerge from the cave, and the battlefield is turning in your favor. The chosen one. Take courage. What caused you to be broken does not define you. The way God uses you defines you. What pushed you to change the world? Say it once again, with conviction. My scars are my strengths. And now, chosen one, take a courageous step toward the next revelation. Hear me clearly. The third trap is refined, intelligent, and nuanced. It whispers to your mind that if you only learn enough, study enough, and analyze enough, change will occur. But this is a falsehood. This is the pitfall of intellectual spirituality, the illusion of knowledge without embodiment. I refer to it as the temptation of being a spiritual librarian rather than a spiritual fighter. You gather books, underline passages, remember phrases to quote, consult gurus, argue religion and ideologies. On the surface, it seems amazing. People may look up to you, but deep down, you know you're locked in the same patterns. You're talking about liberation while remaining in shackles. I am aware of this trap since I have personally experienced it. There was a time when my bookcases were stacked with diaries, my playlists were full with spiritual podcasts, and my lexicon was rife with religious words. But my existence was devoid of fruits. I could talk about surrender, but I still felt restless. I could teach plenty, yet my pockets remained empty. I could explain forgiveness, yet resentment weighed heavily on my breast. My lips spoke knowledge. However, my heart remained intact. The chosen one. This trap is harmful because it seems constructive. Your ego likes it. The ego enjoys feeling significant via information, which inflates. But love, as embodied, changes. Heaven will not reward your bookshelves. Heaven rewards your loyalty. Consider it this way. Imagine standing at a closed fence for years. You examine the lock. You draw a schematic of its form. You discuss which keys may work. However, you never attempt to use the key. That is the trap. Endless research, no action. Destiny is never unlocked. How do you know if you've been caught here? Ask yourself, do I read about prayer more than I do pray? Do I discuss meditation? But should we avoid silence? Do I repeat passages to others, yet never leave them when adversity strikes? If so, you are caught in the trap of knowing about God, but not knowing Him. The cosmos does not need additional pundits. It calls for conduits. Heaven is looking for living witnesses, not talking heads. The fruit of knowledge is not in your words, but in your change. People must look at your life and taste each piece of fruit that passes. Understanding, courage in the flames, Compassion where vengeance would be simpler. The chosen one. The antidote is extreme simplicity. Clear away the clutter. Choose one. Practice and embrace it with commitment. Not 10. Not 21. Perhaps it is 5 minutes of silence before morning. Perhaps thankfulness is recorded in a notepad every day. Perhaps when done sincerely, it is stillness rather than emotion. A single seed grows into a whole tree. I remember when I stopped reading about forgiveness and really forgave someone. My whole body trembled. My pride shouted, but I said the words, and I immediately felt lighter. That deed had a greater impact on me than 10 years of studies because embodiment is where heaven meets earth. Say this with me now. I am the living knowledge. I do not know knowledge, nor do I carry it, yet I am. Let those words imprint your soul. Wisdom is no longer something that exists outside. You pursue. It becomes part of your whole existence. However, your ego will oppose. It favors libraries over altars. It would rather quote the truth than live it. However, heaven does not measure by your notes. Heaven searches for the mark of obedience engraved on your decisions. And one decision made in faith is more powerful than 1,000 words voiced in pride. So I dare you, for every hour spent consuming, spend an hour practicing and reading about compassion. Go seek forgiveness, learning, and abundance. Such generosity. Learn about praying. Pray. Anchor. Truth in action. Make your life a chosen sermon. You are not called to be a repository of information. You are called to be a receptacle for God's live presence. Theories do not alter the reality. It is altered by embodied souls who bring light into all aspects of their everyday existence. Say it again, with conviction. I am the living wisdom. With those remarks, you transition from a theory learner to a live testament. This is the moment when heaven mocks you for being trustworthy. I've seen folks break away from this cage and suddenly accelerate. Why? Because heaven now had a vessel, not a commentator. Once you embrace even a single truth, the doors were locked. Swing open. Opportunities arrive. Favor flows. Alignment occurs. Beloved chosen one, your destiny does not need you to know everything. It necessitates that you embody something. Living even one truth authentically empowers you more than the brightest academic who never acts. So, today, make this proclamation your anchor. I am the living wisdom. Live it. Walk it. Allow it to show through your presence. And when you emerge from this trap, prepare yourself, because the next misconception targets your emotions rather than your head. It will be camouflaged as belonging, community, and comfort. But there is another snare. For the time being, just breathe. You're no longer a collector. You're a carrier. You are not simply informed. You have been changed. Heaven smiles because you choose to live, not only for the selected one. Pay close attention. You've already walked through fire. You've experienced the paralysis of waiting. Dismantle the never-ending cycle of healing and break free from intellectual pride. However, the road is becoming more limited. The next trap is more sensitive and emotional, because it speaks to your deepest human need, the yearning to belong. The fourth trap is that of the spiritual echo chamber. It is camouflaged as community, soul, family, and connection. It seems comfortable, soothing, and affirming. However, it may also become the most subtle prison for your emotions. You glimpse the chosen one as you awaken. Life may be lonely. Old buddies may not comprehend you. Family members may dismiss you. You start speaking a new language of light and purpose, but they don't understand it. So when you find people who understand, the relief is addictive. Finally, there are folks who nod when you mention energy changes, spiritual battle, or divine timing. It feels like home. It is often the case at first. Community is a benefit when it raises you up. However, the trap occurs when the society transitions from a launchpad to a cage. When the group's affirmation takes precedence over your soul's voice. When the group's beliefs imperceptibly outweigh your own discernment, membership becomes bondage. The chosen one. I've seen a group of searchers who once fostered progress now impose uniformity. If the leader declares this instruction is true, no one dares to dispute it. If the tribe agrees on a diet, an ideology, or a prophecy, you must align or face expulsion. Slowly, Your genuine connection to God's voice is filtered via the group's acceptance. The most hazardous thing is that you don't even realize it's occurring. It seems like affection, but it's really control. It feels like a family, but it is a compromise. And, gradually, the fire of your distinctive calling fades beneath the weight of consensus. Anointed one, you were never asked to fit in. You were tasked with standing out, leading, and blazing paths. Others are terrified to walk. That implies you'll have to stroll alone throughout certain seasons. Do not confuse aloneness with desertion. Sometimes things happen apart from you in order to strengthen your spiritual backbone and guarantee that your allegiance is to God rather than to the herd. Listen to me. True community values your autonomy. It is not afraid of your differences. If a group requires you to suppress your voice in order to join, it is no longer a community. It's imprisonment. I've gone through this exam myself. Years ago, I was part of a group that initially encouraged me, but I quickly realized I was suppressing my insights since they didn't fit the narrative. I ignored the prophetic nudges in my soul because I didn't want to lose connection. God then said, "If you choose their approval over my assignment, you will forfeit your crown." That information shocked me. I needed to go, and the instant I did, insight poured in like sunshine bursting through clouds. The chosen one, this is your exam. Now, will you cling to comfort or choose sovereignty? Will you exchange heavenly guidance for human applause? Or will you dare to take the lonely path to your throne? The cure to this trap is extreme self-trust. Declare it immediately. On my own North Star. Speak it loudly. Leave a comment. This is your pledge to follow the compass God set inside you. Even if no one else understands, you are not turning down love. You refuse to let love take control. And once you've established this reality, the community changes. You can be lengthy without being limited. You can connect without conforming. You may love sincerely while yet following your own course. That's true. Freedom. The chosen one. Understand that leaders are not molded in echo chambers. Leaders are made in quiet, wilderness, and solitary obedience. Moses was alone on the mountain. Elijah was alone in the cave. Jesus was alone in the desert before each major mission. There is a divide, and in that isolation, you discover your unwavering clarity. So don't worry. If God is drawing you away from the familiar, don't resist. If the nest seems very tight, you are getting ready to soar higher than the group ever thought. Take courage. Anointed one, your journey is precious, even if it is alone. You're not lost. You're being guided. You are not abandoned. You're being anointed. And the stillness around you is not empty. It is full of God's voice, teaching you to follow Him without filters. So I'll leave you with this accusation. Love your neighborhood, but don't idealize it. Honor your tribe, but never give them your compass. Cherish your belonging, but never surrender your soul. Say it once more. On my own North Star. With these words, you profess your utmost devotion to the holy inside. This is not the consensus around you. That is how you deconstruct this trap and go ahead. Sovereign, full, and free. And now, prepare yourself. The chosen one. Because after you restore your sovereignty, the next trap is not from the heart, but from your energy. It will put you to the test in terms of managing your own life energy. Be ready. The fifth trap is waiting. The chosen one. Listen, with your whole existence, you have broken away from the echo chamber of conformity. However, the challenge has now shifted deeper. It penetrates your energy field and enters the divine tide of life. God has entrusted you. The next trap is subtle. The world celebrates virtue, but it consumes you more than any opponent could. It's the trap of undeserved pity masquerading as compassion. The chosen one. You feel everything. You were born sensitive. You can feel the gravity in a room before anybody says anything. When you gaze into a friend's eyes, you can sense their sadness in your heart. Hearing about global tragedies affects your soul. This is not a random gift. It is proof of your anointing. Your empathy demonstrates that you are a bearer of light. However, if that gift is not utilized wisely, it might be used against you. This trap teaches you that in order to be nice and spiritual, you must never shut your heart. It whispers that limits are selfish, and that in order to properly serve, you must bear the agony of others, even if it kills yourself. So you spend hours listening to folks spew venom, You answer all calls, even if your soul is tired. You donate money, time, and energy to those who don't appreciate it. And you wonder why you feel so empty, exhausted, and impotent. The chosen one. Hear the truth. Compassion is complete, but self-abandonment is sin. The world will applaud you for being continuously accessible and generous. However, heaven is waiting to see whether you will revere your own energy temple. Your energy is not common. It is sanctified. This is the second temple, and no shrine should be exposed to every thief, defiler, and heedless traveler. Consider Jesus as the anointed one. Crowds crowded on him, yet he often retired to lonely areas to pray. Even the Son of God protected his vitality. Why? Because one cannot pour from an empty vessel. You can't cure the world until you first heal yourself. This trap tells you that drowning alongside others is honorable, yet genuine compassion is not drowning. Standing solid on the beach and displaying your light helps them remember how to swim. This is a conflict I am quite familiar with. There was a time when I couldn't say no. People contacted me all day and night, unloading their troubles on me. At first, I felt helpful, but I quickly realized I was fatigued. My prayers were feeble, my eyesight blurred, and God said quietly, "You have mistaken pity for compassion. My sympathy strengthens your pity drain." That realization changed my life forever. The chosen one. The adversary enjoys undeserved empaths, because you can't develop, produce, or lead when your energy is leaking. You're too busy mending holes in other people's boats while your own mission sinks. This is not a service. This is sabotage. So what is the antidote? It represents holy limits. It's sympathetic detachment. It is the capacity to communicate, "I understand your pain. I respect your path, but I won't bear your burden for you." This isn't coldness. It is about respect. Respect for your own temple and for their God-given ability to cure themselves. The chosen one. Declare it immediately. My energy is like my second temple. Write it. Speak it. Feel it when you announce it. Imagine yourself surrounded by a golden light barrier, impenetrable to everything that isn't love, not truth, nor light. This barrier does not isolate you. It sanctifies you. It keeps you pure, so that what comes out of you is heavenly overflow rather than exhausted bits in practice. This entails learning to say no without guilt. It entails refraining from low-frequency discussions. It entails cleaning your energy on a regular basis via prayer, meditation, or symbolic activities. It entails determining who has earned entry to your inner circle, because not everyone is entitled to the holiest of holies inside you. And absolutely, when you start setting these limits, people will rebel. They will accuse you of selfishness. They will instill guilt in you. But see plainly, this is the test. Are you committed to your purpose or their approval? Every nay you say in love is a yes to your fate. When you protect your energy, something amazing occurs. Your vigor returns. Your inventiveness abounds. Your judgment improves. You now have enough to create what God has asked you to build. That is when heaven may put greater faith in you, since you have demonstrated your ability to preserve what you carry. The chosen one. Your empathy is complete, yet divine talents need sacred bounds. Stop letting the world feed off your brightness. Be the lighthouse, not the sponge. Shine, but don't soak. Love, but don't forsake yourself. Guard your temple, because it is the source of the river of life that God has put inside you. And as you hold solid on this, you will be prepared for the next trap. Because once your energy is trapped, the opponent will try another technique. It will draw you into the sky of your imagination while ignoring the ground under your feet. This is the pitfall of ignoring the now for the promise of the future. And the anointed one is who we shall confront next. The chosen one. The battleground has shifted again. You've safeguarded your energy, established holy boundaries, and regained your temple. However, another trap is waiting. One has the most exquisite disguise. It isn't gloomy, weighty, or blatantly damaging. In fact, it exudes inspiration, optimism, and vision. However, it is a thief of fate. It's the trap of living in the future and ignoring the present. Under the banners of ascension and divine hope, one was selected. It murmurs, "You know this trap well. The new earth is almost here. Everything will be wonderful. Soon, there will be no bills, no discomfort, and no conflicts. Only sunshine, harmony, and tranquility. This vision is not untrue. It's real. Heaven's blueprint is active. However, the risk comes in escaping into that image. Many awakened souls descend here after quitting their current tasks. They dwell ceaselessly on 5 realities while ignoring their worldly tasks. They discuss cosmic download codes. Nonetheless, their houses are disorganized. They envision universal harmony. However, their personal connections remain strained. They claim it doesn't matter since we'll be climbing shortly. But this isn't faith. This is avoidance. The chosen one. God granted you a body, a house, a job, and a family. They serve as training grounds rather than diversions. Your human being is not a mistake. It's the holy workshop where heaven meets earth. To disdain your humanity in the search of spirituality is to reject the altar that God erected for your development. Listen to me. Ascension is not an escape route. This is a building project. You are also a member of the construction crew. You cannot sit on the sidelines with designs for a great city and refuse to pour bricks today. The new earth will not just emerge from the clouds. It will be constructed via the decisions you make, the discipline you maintain, and the love you embody right now. The chosen one. I am intimately aware of this temptation. There were days when I longed to soar in illusions of greatness and disregard the ordinary. Ignore my money, my health, my obligations. It seemed spiritual to disengage. But every time, paradise drew me back. If you can't control what you have right now, how will you manage tomorrow's wealth? That question pierced me. I discovered the golden future is awakened by everyday faithfulness, not wishful thinking. This trap tempts you to postpone compliance. It encourages you to wait for the ideal season, the ideal indication, the right timing. But please listen. Faith does not wait for circumstances to align. Faith is putting seeds in rough soil and expecting God to provide growth. If you detest little beginnings, you will never reach large conclusions. The chosen one. The remedy for this pitfall is religious practicality. It is deciding to approach every element of your 3D existence as totally paying debts, which is not just duty, but also spiritual stewardship. Preparing nourishment for your body is not a routine. It's communication with the vessel that God gave you. Repairing relationships is not a distraction. This is the training field for divine love, as proclaimed. Now I'm paradise on earth. Type, talk, and experience it. You're not waiting for paradise to come. You are giving it life by your decisions, actions, and presence. Heaven is more than just a destination. It is an environment you create at your house, at job, and in your speeches. The chosen one. This proclamation is hazardous for the adversary because if you incarnate paradise here, you are unstoppable. You're no longer waiting for miracles. You become the miracle. You're no longer begging for light. You radiate it. You are no longer dreaming about the future. You make it happen one brick at a time, every day. And, sure, it requires bravery. It requires getting up early to pray when your body is fatigued. When chaos becomes more manageable, it requires you to organize your house. It requires having difficult talks since quiet seems safer. But they are the basic foundations of the kingdom. Every routine deed becomes holy when performed in accordance with God's timetable. Listen to me. Do not disdain this day of little events. Do not abandon your humanity in search of divinity. Your humanity is the portal through which divinity pours. When you clean, plan, and steward, paradise invades earth, and the future you want becomes a reality. However, it will not fall upon the passive. It will be constructed with boldness. And you're one of them. You feel the pull of tomorrow so strongly because you are compelled to anchor it now. So rise. Choose one area of your life that you have neglected: health, money, house, or crafts. Pour your soul into it. Bring beauty where there was chaos, discipline where there was delay, and paradise to earth via the most basic act of stewardship. And while you do this, watch how heaven reacts. The doors open, provision flows, ideas spark because heaven collaborates with people who value what is already in their possession. The chosen one. Your future is bright, but the present is the seedbed. Do not ignore it. Don't float away from it. Make it a reality. Anchor it. Declare it. I am bliss on earth. And after you've accepted this fact, you'll confront the last trap. The final illusion is meant to keep you little, even after you have passed every exam. It is subtle, disguised as humility, but it is maybe the most harmful of all. Be ready. For now, we enter the seventh and last trap. The chosen one. We have completed the last test. You've eliminated waiting, infinite healing, intellectual pride, echo chambers, energy leakage, and future bypassing. Every struggle has honed, sharpened, and readied you. But now comes the last and most terrible trap. The pitfall of suppressing your brilliance under the pretext of humility. The chosen one. This trap talks softly and almost gently. It reads, stay small. Do not attract notice. Do not shine too brightly. True spirituality. Quiet. Hidden. Modest. It sounds noble. It sounds safe. But it is a deception intended to destroy the very reason you were brought here. Hear me? Your brilliance was never intended to be veiled. Heaven has spent years and decades pruning, refining, breaking, and reconstructing, so that you might shine. Not for vanity, not for acclaim, but someone out there is drowning in darkness, desperately yearning for a glimmer of light. And the flicker is you. However, this trap persuades you to put a basket over your light. You create a poem, but never share it. You created the concept, but never expressed it. You developed the answer, but let someone else take credit. You've convinced yourself that this is humility, that this is sacred and real. Humility is not hiding. True humility is letting God's light flow through you without distortion. Anointed one. I've wrestled here personally. I used to keep God's messages to myself for fear of being labeled haughty or misunderstood. But every time I remained mute, I felt the weight of souls I might have helped slide through my fingers, until one night in prayer, I heard it clearly. Withholding your gift is not humility. Disobedience shattered me. I knew that hiding did not protect me. It was robbing people. The chosen one. This is the challenge you are currently facing. Will you bury your talents like the terrified servant in the parable, or will you increase them? Will you play it safe? Will you shine fully? The world needs your voice, creativity, solution, and vision. Some individuals are unable to go ahead unless you walk out into the open. And you must make a decision. Do you value safety or obedience more? This trap is ingenious because it makes you feel safe. It says that by concealing, you may escape jealousy, criticism, and persecution. However, just one was picked. Your light was designed for opposition. Your anointing was designed for resistance. Don't be afraid of being noticed. Fear squandering what God has provided. You can hear this plainly. Your light is not in your possession. The sky are dimming. It is to reject the donor. You're not shining for yourself. You are a beacon of light for people seeking guidance. When you conceal, they will stumble. When you shine, they will rise. The chosen one. Declare it. Now, I am the light, and I'm ready to shine. Speak it openly, write it, and proclaim it. This isn't arrogance. It is about alignment. You are consenting to what heaven has already determined. And here's the key. Shine does not imply perfection. It doesn't imply waiting till your work is faultless. Your message improved your journey. Certainly, it entails going out with what you have today. Share the music, even if it rattles. Offer your advice, even if your voice trembles. Launch the project, even if it seems tiny, since obedience in the small leads to tremendous practical bravery. Posting that concept online, praying aloud when you'd rather be quiet, and speaking your experience even if it exposes you. Each little, visible act dismantles the trap when you choose exposure over fear. Heaven increases your reach. The chosen one. You are not called to remain unseen. You are supposed to be unmistakable. This isn't ego. This is an assignment. The lamp belongs on the stand, not in the basket. When you set it on the stand, it will light the walkways. You are incapable of walking on your own. And, certainly, people will speak. Some will criticize. Some people will misinterpret. Some will be envious. However, their response is not your duty. Your obligation is to obey. Obedience to shine, whatever of the cost. I tell you this as someone who has experienced it. When you walk out, heaven supports you. Resources emerge. Allies arise. Platforms open not because you pushed them, but because you've shown faithfulness. Hiding keeps the door shut, shining opens it. So here we are. The chosen one stands at the brink of the last trap. You have been tested while waiting. Healing, understanding, belonging, vitality, and vision. You are now being tested for bravery. Will you shine or shrink? Heaven is watching. The earth is moaning. People assigned to your voice are waiting. And God is whispering, don't hide any longer. The chosen one, this is your moment. Lift the basket. Break the muzzle. Step outside. Shine. And remember, it's not about you. It's about the kingdom. It's about the mission. It is about light that penetrates darkness. Say it again with your whole heart. I am the light, and I'm ready to shine. This is the last key. This is the last exam. The last breakthrough. You're ready. Heaven confirmed it. And the gates open before you. The chosen one. We have reached the conclusion of this voyage. You've encountered 7 traps, each more ingenious than the last. You are still standing. Do you sense the impact of what has occurred? Heaven has guided you step by step through the revelation testing. This is not just another message. This is an activation, a heavenly commission to the chosen one. Take a look back along the way. You tried to wait patiently, but you chose action. You tried to drown in unending healing, but instead you chose integration. You tried to be a knowledge collector, but you chose knowledge. Embodied. You tried to hide in echo chambers, but you chose sovereignty. You sought to leak energy, but you opted to protect your temple. You were tempted. Escape to the future, but you choose to create in the present. You tried to conceal your light, but you choose to shine. This is after victory. And now the gates are open before you. This was not about surviving traps. It was about being the kind of vessel capable of carrying heaven's mission without compromise. You have changed from the person you were when you first started. The old restrictions have been burned away. Illusions have fallen like broken glass. What stands here today is a chosen one, tested by fire and ready for the mantle of grandeur. The chosen one. This is the time for prophetic commissioning. Heaven is beckoning you out of hiding and into the spotlight, out of preparation and into action, out of delay and into destiny. The time for training wheels is past. The season of wildness is over. You're getting close to achieving your goals. I believe the Spirit is telling me that you were born at this moment. This is your Easter moment, your Joseph moment. This is your David moment. Every rejection, every setback, every lonely night was part of the framework paradise that surrounded your destiny. The scaffolding is now falling away. Your calling's framework stands towering, unbreakable, and anointed. The world does not need any additional theory. It requires your presence. It does not need another concealed fighter. It requires a visible light carrier. That is why you survived the fire. That is why you have endured heartache and refining. You are a vessel in which heaven may place its faith. Now, listen with your spirit. Even now, new oil is being poured over you. It is the oil of bravery, clarity, and divine authority. It will not enable you to shrink farther. It will not allow you to conceal. This oil embodies the smell of monarchy, the mantle of leadership, and the bravery of pioneers. You've been tasked with bringing paradise to earth. Not someday, not later. Now choose one. This is not just about you. It is about others who will rise because you have risen. It's about families who will be healed because you refuse to stay quiet. It is about future generations who will benefit because you refuse to bury your potential. You are the pivot from which fate swings. Your obedience now creates opportunities for countless tomorrow. So what should you do first? Declare again, I am the light, and I'm ready to shine. Allow heaven to record your promise. Allow your own soul to hear it. This is your deal with fate. Second, do one visible act of bravery during the following 24 hours. Share your gift. Speak the truth. Develop your vision. Do not delay. Each act of obedience. The momentum of heaven. And third, surrender. Not passive surrender via waiting, but active surrender as a fighter who puts every plan at God's feet and says, use me as you will. My life is yours. My light is yours. My mission is yours. This is not a weakness. This is the ultimate power. Because when paradise pours through you, no one can resist. The chosen one. You're entering an accelerated season. Doors that were locked will spring open. Provision that has been delayed will overflow. Opportunities that you thought you had missed will emerge, magnified. Why? Because you're ready. You have shown faithfulness. You chose light over fear. Don't shrink back now. Don't mistrust what you're carrying. This is the culmination, the crossover, the activation. You are not awaiting revival. You embody renewal. You are not waiting for a breakthrough. You are the breakthrough. You are not waiting for light. You are lightweight. Hear me? Everything will be different from now on. Heaven mocked you. The whole globe will see it. The spiritual dimension is already aware of it. You are not a bystander at this time. You are the trailblazer. You do not observe prophesy. You are the fulfillment of the prophesy, the chosen one. Inhale this. This is the moment you've been planning for. This is why you survived the storms when others did not. This is why your spirit wouldn't let you stop. This is why you're here watching, listening live at this very time in history. Now rise. Shine. Go forward. Heaven has commissioned you. The earth is waiting. The gate is open. Your destiny is beckoning. Say it one more time with fervor in your heart. I am the light, and I'm ready to shine. And may it be the selected one. You've heard about the 7 traps and received the keys, antidotes, and declarations that will allow you to go to the next realm. You are now on the verge of your Kairos moment, the predetermined time that heaven has set for your existence. This is not a coincidence. This is the crossroads of destiny and obedience. The point when your yes collides with God's perfect timing. Anointed one, feel the weight of this reality. The transfer has already started. The change you prayed for, the liberation you desired. The long-awaited breakthrough is finally underway. Heaven is manipulating events, shifting resources, and coordinating people on your behalf. What you opposed will now give. What had previously prevented you from crossing will now be opened, and your feet will be anointed to do so. The chosen one, I am now speaking blessings over you. You are covered in blood, sealed in spirit, and clothed with power. No weapon made against you will flourish. Every trap of delay, uncertainty, and diversion has been broken. Your scars are now your strengths. Your waiting has become yours. Your wilderness has become a training field. You are ascending not by human effort, but via the breath of God. So stand up and be committed. Maintain a grateful and expectant mindset, for what unfolds will far beyond what your eyes or mind can anticipate. This is your season to reveal your hour of divine acceleration. Chosen one. Seal this moment with your words. Leave a comment. I'm ready for my miraculous transfer. Share this message with another soul who is waking, and go ahead with confidence. Your time is not coming. Your time has come. Step confidently into it.